Welcome everybody to Soul Purpose Healing. We are live tonight on YouTube, Viata's Tiny House Village, and we're live tonight on Facebook. Unfortunately, Blog Talk is having problems again. So we're just going to go on with the show as usual. So let me introduce you to Viata's Tiny House Village because that is actually where we are. So, welcome everybody. And that, my brothers and sisters, is how we develop a tiny house village. And we're here. I'm so grateful today. I spent the whole day out at a farm, a local farm out here in Orlando area. It was a fall festival, rides for all the kids and just food, and the music. Oh my goodness, the music, live music was amazing. So I had a great time. My family was there with the grandkids, and even my ex-husband showed up. My former spouse, I should say, showed up. And it's interesting how people are more interested in eating than enjoying music. I was the only one standing up dancing to the music. But afterwards, the musicians, greeted the musicians, said, I loved your music. And they said, we loved seeing you dancing. They said, you were inspiring us. And I said, you were inspiring me. So it was like an exchange of love and appreciation. So, because I just love music, and that music is just in my bones. So anytime I hear good music, I have to get up and dance. So that's what my day was like. Tonight, though, we want to bring some unity to all 7 generations. There are 7 generations that have been designated by society or the experts. I don't know who came up with these names, but it's a pretty good title or classification for groups of people who were born during certain periods, because during those periods, there was a lot of things happening that sort of identifies that generation to their beliefs and their education experience and all that. So we want to talk about that tonight, and how we can put all these generations together, from what they call one, the greatest generation, those born in 1901 forward, and then the alpha generation of those youngsters who are 8 years and younger. We can do it. We can bring unity to all these generations, and we're going to show you how tonight. But first, we want to call in our ancestors, because these days we just need a lot of help. There is just so much division, that we really do need to look at how we can come together, because that is what our Creator desires of us. Our Creator desires that we be fully unified at some point. So let's start out with Becca Shea, who talks about the heartbeat of our Creator and how our Creator desires unity. And in fact, we're going to just proclaim tonight that unity is here. It's coming, it's here, it's bursting at the seams. So get your drums out, and let's invite our ancestors and get into the rhythm of unity. Okay. All right. We're going to call in also, while we're doing that, I'm going to call into the On Air Everywhere Network.
And has blood has ransomed people for God. From every tribe and language, people, every nation. Where warriors have fallen, there's a resurrection coming. It's your time to rise and shine. Wake up, you sleeping giant. Those of injustice are being healed by the people. Yahweh is bringing us power through unity. Where warriors have fallen, there's a resurrection coming. Tribals come alive. Yeah, wake up, you sleeping giant. Your heartbeat, I feel it. Yeah, I feel your heartbeat. I feel it. Yeah, I feel your heartbeat. I feel it. I feel your heartbeat. I feel it. I feel it. Yeah, I feel it. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. We cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. Together we cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. We cry. Out your heartbeat, oh, your heartbeat. This is the hour to know whose side to stand by. Raise up a standard in battle for every fellow tribe. Warriors are fighting, there's a revival igniting. Search for such a time. Yeah, arise, you blazing fire. Faith and stand firm and listen to your destiny. The rhythm of our Father moves with victory. Where warriors are fighting, there's a revival igniting. So my soul God, and arise, blazing fire. Your heartbeat, I feel it. Yeah, I feel your heartbeat. I feel it. Yeah, I feel your heartbeat. I feel it. I feel your heartbeat. I feel it. I feel it. Yeah, I feel it. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. We cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. Together we cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. We cry. Out your heartbeat, oh, your heartbeat. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. We cry. Yes, you
Ashe, Ashe. Ooh, love that song. Love that song. Love that song. We are here tonight to bring all right, we are back. Ooh, thank you for being here, joining me for Unity Unity. Now that song, I love that song. I keep playing it every week because it really is speaking to the times that we're in. Yeshua is the spirit of love and wisdom and compassion and more, love and truth. Let's just say Yeshua, who is also known as Jesus, but I call him Yeshua because Yeshua is more a spiritual energy of love and truth. So Yeshua is bringing us together. The spirit of love and truth is bringing us together in these really confusing, divisive times to empower us and bring us into our sovereign selves. Okay. So I want all of you to think about the generations that I'm going to play. First of all, think about what generation you're in. And then think about what is the special gift that you bring to your generation. What is it about you that makes you ooze out, that makes you manifest your divine purpose? What is your divine purpose? This is where we start with unity for all the generations from those born in 1901 to 2024. What are you doing here? Why are you here? What is your purpose? We want to ask that question tonight. What are you here to do? And what's your divine purpose? So let's start tonight with a description for all the 7 generations. I didn't know there were 7. I thought there were 5. But we're going to learn something tonight. That's why we baby boomers don't have dementia, because we're learning something new every day. That's the goal. Every day learn something new. You won't have any brain problems because your brain is you're exercising your brain. When you learn something new, it's an exercise for your brain muscle. So I want to share with you this piece about the generations. What are they? And just pay attention to what are the skills and the personality traits of those in those generations. Because what we're going to do tonight is bring out the idea that each generation deserves respect. Respect, which means we, the elders, the boomers, we have to be better listeners. Whether it's a younger generation or older, we should be listening if we're conscious and aware that there's a need for help. They need help, the younger ones especially, but then some of the older ones need help too. So we listen and have conversations, and that's part of the key to unity, is listening. That's what I'm going to be promoting, focusing on the whole evening, the hour. This is an hour show, and sometimes we might go over, but we're scheduled for an hour to bring out the generations and why and how we can have unity when we are listening to one another and respecting what are the unique qualities about each generation. So let's watch this short clip about who these generations are, the generation X, Y, Z, and all that. We're going to learn a little bit more about that, because I didn't realize both my sons, even though they're 5 years apart, they're in different generations. So it just says a little bit more about their uniqueness. And that's how we can bring unity, is honoring, respecting, and celebrating our uniqueness. And then we're going to go into a little bit about adult parents and their adult children. We've got to learn to accept what our adult children are doing, performing, believe, even if we don't like it. That's how we have unity. We respect our adult children no matter what they do. Respect now. We don't have to bring them in our home and do crazy things with them, but respect. So let's listen to this clip about the generation comparisons, and let's learn a little bit more about the different characteristics.
Living Generations Explained. Greatest generation refers to the generation of people born between 1901 to 1927. The people of this generation are now 94 to 120 years old. Silent generation refers to the generation of people born between 1928 to 1945. The people of this generation are now 76 to 93 years old. Baby boomers refers to the generation of people born between 1946 to 1964. The people of this generation are now 57 to 75 years old. Generation X refers to the generation of people born between 1965 to 1980. The people of this generation are now 41 to 56 years old. Millennials refers to the generation of people born between 1981 to 1996. The people of this generation are now 25 to 40 years old. Generation Z refers to the generation of people born between 1997 to 2012. The people of this generation are now 9 to 24 years old. Generation Alpha refers to the generation of people born between 2013 to 2024. The people of this generation are now 8 years old and under. These are some of the characteristics of the greatest generation: disciplined, determined, and resilient. These are some of the characteristics of the silent generation: traditional, patient, and responsible. These are some of the characteristics of baby boomers: competitive, confident, and sociable. These are some of the characteristics of Generation X: independent, skeptical, and flexible. These are some of the characteristics of millennials: risk-taker, ambitious, and self-centered. These are some of the characteristics of Generation Z: creative, open-minded, and sensitive. These are some of the characteristics of Generation Alpha: logical, objective, and self-aware. These are some stuffs from the era of the greatest generation: Oldsmobile curved dash, yo-yo, and piano roll. These are some stuffs from the era of the silent generation: Ford Model T, Slinky, and radio. These are some stuffs from the era of baby boomers: Ford Mustang, Frisbee, and record player. These are some stuffs from the era of Generation X: Holden Commodore, Rubik's Cube, and Walkman. These are some stuffs from the era of millennials: Toyota Prius, Beyblade, and iPod. These are some stuffs from the era of Generation Z: Honda S2000, Bakugan, and smart speaker. These are some stuffs from the era of Generation Alpha: Tesla Cybertruck, fidget spinner, and AirPods. These are the iconic hairstyles of the greatest generation. These are the iconic hairstyles of the silent generation. These are the iconic hairstyles of baby boomers. These are the iconic hairstyles of Generation X. These are the iconic hairstyles of millennials. These are the iconic hairstyles of Generation Z. These are the iconic hairstyles of Generation Alpha. These are some of the most popular idols of the greatest generation. Charlie Chaplin, Gloria Swanson, and F. Scott Fitzgerald. These are some of the most popular idols of the silent generation. Elvis Presley, Marilyn Monroe, and James Dean. These are some of the most popular idols of baby boomers. John Lennon, Mick Jagger, and Bob Dylan. These are some of the most popular idols of Generation X. Michael Jackson, Madonna, and Kurt Cobain. These are some of the most popular idols of millennials. Beyoncé, Justin Bieber, and Taylor Swift. These are some of the most popular idols of Generation Z. Jungkook, Lisa, and Billie Eilish. These are some of the most popular idols of Generation Alpha. Ryan Kaji, Anastasia Radzinskaya, and Brooklyn Prince. These are some of the most popular cartoons of the greatest generation. Felix the Cat, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, and Mickey Mouse.
There's Felix, my favorite.
These are some of the most popular cartoons of the silent generation. Donald Duck, Tom and Jerry, and Bugs Bunny. These are some of the most popular cartoons of baby boomers. The Flintstones, Pink Panther, and Winnie the Pooh. These are some of the most popular cartoons of Generation X. Scooby-Doo, Doraemon, and Garfield. These are some of the most popular cartoons of millennials. The Simpsons, SpongeBob SquarePants, and Sonic the Hedgehog. These are some of the most popular cartoons of Generation Z. Adventure Time, Gumball, and Rick and Morty. These are some of the most popular cartoons of Generation Alpha. We Bare Bears, Close Enough, and Solar Opposites. These are some of the most popular fictional heroes of the greatest generation. Zorro, Tarzan, and Flash Gordon. These are some of the most popular fictional heroes of the silent generation. Lone Ranger, Batman, and Zorro. These are some of the most popular fictional heroes of baby boomers. Superman, Batman, and James Bond. These are some of the most popular fictional heroes of Generation X. Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. These are some of the most popular fictional heroes of millennials. Power Rangers, Spider-Man, and Batman. These are some of the most popular fictional heroes of Generation Z. Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. These are some of the most popular fictional heroes of Generation Alpha. Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, and Batman. These are some of the events that took place during the prime years of the greatest generation. These are some of the events that took place during the prime years of the silent generation. These are some of the events that took place during the prime years of baby boomers. These are some of the events that took place during the prime years of Generation X. These are some of the events that took place during the prime years of millennials. These are some of the events that took place during the prime years of Generation Z. These are some of the events that took place during the prime years of Generation Alpha. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos.
Wow. 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 I don't know how many of you all were wowed about that, especially the influence of Europeans. Felix the Cat was one of my favorite cartoons, I have to admit. And that was even in the generation before me. So Felix lasted a long time. And then I married a Felix. It spelled his name with a P, though. It wasn't F. Wow. As I'm watching that, this video alone, this video is called The Generation. Let me see, what's that? You should watch that, The Greatest Generations. I'm going to get the name of it for you. What are the different generations? I didn't watch the whole thing earlier, so I didn't realize how much influence Europeans have had on Blacks in that particular video. I mean, it's obvious when we walk around and see what we see that Black Americans have been heavily influenced by Hollywood, and media portrayal of Europeans. And that just reminds me today when I was at the farm. Oh my goodness, I have to really hold back my judgment of people. Help me, Zelda. I'm on a scale. Today at the farm, I was probably moved up to a 5 instead of a 2. Woo, observing without judgment. Number 1, the number of Black women with hair, long hair. I was sitting at a table listening to music, and I saw it was across from me were these 2 women, European women with this long straight hair. And I looked to the side of me and there was a Black woman with long straight hair, and it wasn't hers, obviously. And I thought, don't judge, just observe. And I thought, whoa. And I thought, don't judge, because we don't know why she's needing to wear a wig. But I'm looking across from me, I'm seeing these 2 European with long straight hair, and obviously her friends, she was with her friend, she's influenced to have long straight hair too. And that's one of the things I want to try and convey tonight about unity, especially in the Black community. And some people might turn off on this one, but it's time for us to display our cosmic curls, our creativity. I'm wearing a wrap that someone sent me from Chicago. It was a gift. And I just think it's the most beautiful, creative head wrap. We don't have to show our cosmic curls all the time because we're creative beings. In fact, which generation is that? There's one particular Generation Z. They're 1997 to 2012. They're supposed to be creative, open-minded, and sensitive. And my point in expressing all this, not that I digress, but when I saw that all that European influence, that's why we're so divided right now. We're so divided because we have not been able to take on our own power, our own culture, our own beauty, our own creativity. We have been heavily influenced by Hollywood, the media, and our government, I would say. So tonight is all about learning to practice emotional intelligence and be better listeners. If I had had a chance to talk to that young Black woman sitting next to me with her long wig, I would have asked her more about where she's from, where she grew up, first of all, what generation did she grow up in? And I would have wanted to listen to some of the clues that you are so heavily influenced by your friend's hair and not your own, and not doing your own hair. Now, listen, I grew up with a pressing comb, curlers. My mother was a beautician, so we didn't let that nappy hair hang around for too long, believe me. And we were swimmers, so after swimming, we had our swimming caps, but if that hair got a little kinky, Mom was out with the pressing comb. And so looking back at my own history, I realized again how influenced we were back as baby boomers. There was just no nappy hair for a while. We didn't show that. That was out of the question, no nappy hair. But as the naturals came in the 70s, well, we got those afros going and they were huge. And we were all in unity because we were having competitions in our high school about who had the best natural. In fact, one of the things in our yearbook was who had the best looking natural, of which I was a contender. I had one of those big naturals. So wow, I just keep thinking about how influenced we were back in the 70s, but how influenced women are now in the 2024 to get wigs to cover their now I have to admit though there's a lot of women who are I saw a lot of women with beautiful cornrows, locks, and women are getting very creative with braids. Hallelujah, hallelujah. We're getting very creative with braids because that's our history. That's the African history is braids. But this long straight hair, help me. I'm really working on the judgment about that because I just think it's our beauty is so unique, so special. African beauty is just there's nothing like it. The rich melanin, the cosmic curls, and the creativity with wraps and beautiful colors. Anyway, here's what's going on though with how we're going to bring all these generations together from 1901 to 2024. We have to be better listeners. This and practice emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. That is not reacting to everything we see, not reacting, but responding with conversations and then listening to what people are saying. And I give you some examples recently. My grandchildren were in the kitchen and their job is to put dishes in the dishwasher. They're 8 and 10. And they're doing so well. The older they get, the more they accept responsibility. So every child should have a chore because it's building self-esteem and confidence. And so I was telling them, when I was growing up, we didn't have a dishwasher. I was sharing with them, we didn't even have a dishwasher. And I said, we had to wash by hand. And they said, oh, by hand. I said, they thought I meant, using my hands to wash the dish. I said, no, you take a sponge or a rag. You didn't have a sponge. Take a rag. And they said, oh. And my 8-year-old grandson said, Grandma, actually, you didn't even have a sink. They had buckets. I was like, what? What did you say? He is so knowledgeable and so inquisitive about everything. And somehow he learned, I guess, in school that even before sinks, even before the 2 sinks, there was a bucket. And he was describing to me about how they washed dishes before my time. I had to listen. This 8-year-old knew this. And I'm like, oh yeah, of course I knew that. No, I didn't remember it because that wasn't my period. My mother had 1 sink. We had 1 sink with a little rack here to put the dishes. So when my 8-year-old grandson, now he's an alpha because he was born in 2013, I think. Yeah, 24. No, he was born in 2015. Yeah, his sister's a Gen Z, 2012. He's a 2 years later, 2014, so he's alpha. I had to listen to develop unity in that kitchen where we all 3 of us learned something new because I was listening and we all looked at each other like, oh, okay, I get it. And there was just this spirit of love, cooperation, and peace. I didn't have to yell at them or anything. I just listened. Because he said, Grandma. And I didn't say, oh, be quiet. I'm talking. No, I said, yes, John, what is it? And he shared with me about, they didn't have it. I listened. So that's what's happening in my life is that when I have emotional intelligence, practice emotional intelligence to listen and not react and then respond. I was like, oh, thank you for that new knowledge or that reminder. Maybe I've sort of remembered, but I was like so at peace about that moment. And that's where the unity throughout the generations comes when we are having healthy discussions about the gifts each one of us have to contribute. Now, who thinks an 8-year-old has a gift to tell me about what dishwashing was like 100 years ago? Because that's pretty much what it comes down. 1924, that's what they were doing, using buckets. I had to listen. So I want to take a break here. And when we come back, I want to play a couple of videos about realizing your soul purpose. Because if we're going to help the younger generation, number one, we need to know why we're here. What am I here for? What am I supposed to do? Am I just supposed to lecture everybody and tell them what to do and not pay attention to what their desires are? Oh, here's the other example I wanted to share with you. When I was at this farm today, I was standing in line to pay for my sunflower. Oh, it's at my son's. They have this beautiful sunflower area where you go cut your sunflower out the area. And I was standing in line and I heard these three guys behind me, and I had passed, and these three handsome black guys. I said, ooh, good looking, good looking. And when I was standing in line, I heard one of them say, here, honey, this is for you. And I went, ooh. And I looked back and so I realized these were gay guys behind me, two of them at least. And I said, okay, no judgment. Just keep going, keep going. They were so handsome. But this is kind of the reality we're facing all the time. And then like an hour later, I'm sitting down waiting for my son and his family to finish their ice cream. And I'm sitting, they have these nice fire pits while you're sitting there. And these same gay guys are standing next to me. Now, I call this synchronicity because there were hundreds of people in that place, in that farm. It's a huge farm. And these same gay guys and their female friend and there were more friends there. And I'm sitting there and I just hear the word abomination. And I'm like, okay, what's he talking about? And I just kind of gently turned my head they were having a conversation that I overheard. Coincidentally. No, the young man was talking about how he can't bring his gay lifestyle around his mother because she will be talking about it's an abomination in the Bible to have that kind of lifestyle. So he doesn't even go around his mother at all because she talks her biblical, religious, whatever. And I just sat there thinking about, that's so true. So true. If you were in a baby boomer or earlier generation and your adult child becomes gay, most generations of that earlier generation are going to be judgmental like crazy, especially using the Bible as a reference. And I sat there thinking, and I shared this with my son on the way home and his girlfriend. And I said, I don't know if people are using the word abomination anymore, but definitely if my beliefs are in conflict with my adult child, we tend to push them away, judge them, and stop being loving and kind, right? I think most of us are like that. Let me know if you don't agree with that. But that's the way some of us are. Let's not say all of us. Some of us are more understanding, accepting, and all that. But listening to that young man, I realized there's no unity in that family because my beliefs, her mother's beliefs are different from her adult son's belief. And I'm so grateful I don't have that prejudice anymore. I don't think either one of my sons are gay, but if they were, it's not my business anymore. And I am in a place of maturity and acceptance to realize my sons and I have a soul partnership now. And I, even on my son's birthday card, I put from your soul partner, AKA mom. Because you have to break away when you have adult children whose beliefs don't match yours, who go against your beliefs. You got to break away from the mommy-son relationship. That's my baby, blah, blah, blah. No. We're on this journey together to learn how to evolve and how to be good soul partners now. And so what he does, whether it's alcohol, drinking, whatever, I don't judge it anymore. I just observe it in every way. And now there's some other areas that judgment kicks in. I'm up at a 5 again, Zelda, sorry. But then I go back down to a 2 because it doesn't serve me. And there's no unity in that. So let's take a break. Think about that. If you have any comments, in fact, I'll read the comments when we come back, because our goal is to bring unity, whether you were born in 1901, if there's anybody still out there, or 19 or 2024, like my grandson, or not 2024, but 2014. It's time for us to open the ears and start really listening and having healthy conversations. And we're going to come back and watch a couple of videos on how do you know your soul purpose? Why are you here? Because that's key if we're going to help our younger generation. What are you doing in your 60s and 70s if you're a baby boomer? Are you sitting back with the remote in your hand and not making a difference when you go to the grocery store? I got a story to tell you about. I think I told this on Friday. But anyway, let me take a break because this is just, it's so near and dear to my heart that we talk about unity and letting go of the need to control our young people, and especially our adult children. Okay, that's where I'm thinking about that, as well as the younger generation. Are you still trying to control the people who are adults in your life, or are you listening more? Are you listening more to the adults in your life, or are you still trying to control and lecture them, as many of us have done? So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV show invites you to an invigorating, empowering, interactive conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Gathering of the Griots with Asada. Wednesdays, Repairing Family Relationships with Naima and co-host Kareen Hamid. Thursdays, Veggie Brunch Live with Angela. Fridays, Health and Well-Being with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Global Talks with Zana. Second Saturday, Walk in Your Divine Authority with Mama Joy. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. Fourth Saturday, be a judge on the virtual Teens, Tweens, and Tots Talent Contest. And fifth Saturday, join us on location as we conversate at the Elevate Cafe, owner Jackie Brooks. Sundays, join us 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Go to thefemalesolution.com to join us on our video or audio live streaming platforms. Listen at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. Call in on the Blog Talk Radio Network 515-605-9325, or call in and comment on the On-Air Radio Network 727-731-5192. We want to hear from you.
Yes, yes, yes. We want to hear from you. And we have several people in our Facebook audience. And again, if you're tuning in late, Blog Talk is not working. Blog Talk is actually going out of business next year. So we are looking at a better platform to bring you the Female Solution and more great shows. We're going to have some really great shows coming. We're going to reorganize. It's time. Next year is a 9. So 9 is giving birth to something really wonderful, beautiful, new baby coming out. Yay, new baby coming out of Female Solution. So let me read some of the comments here, because I'm not alone here. I have people here on Facebook who are with me. Zelda is our Monday morning mindfulness host. She said, Grand Rising, oh wise one. Wow, never looked at it from this perspective. Quite interesting. Yeah, me either. This is new for me too. You know, when I do research to find the best videos to share and all that, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So we're not going to have any Alzheimer's in the Female Solution. We're always learning new things. And then Naima Latif says, this is important information. We need to know how our children think based on the media influences they experienced. I mean, look at the way we thought with Mickey Mouse and Felix the Cat. That was my favorite. Felix the cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. Whenever he gets it, see how programmed we are? I am. We remember all those cartoons because we watched them over and over and over. And ooh, that European culture. Wow. Wow. European culture affects the world. Discovered that on my first trip abroad to the motherland. Awesome. Oh boy, we got a lot of work to do. That's why you all you baby boomers and what were they? The silent generation, X, all we got to get refired. Got to undo all this crazy programming. That's why black women wearing all these wigs, and that's expensive. If nothing else, everybody got to be on a budget by now, unless you're a millionaire. You should be on a budget. Get rid of the wigs. I'm just going to say it. Okay, our generation, baby boomers, were deeply brainwashed by European image. That's why I try not to judge. I realize how we were influenced by the long blonde hair. Farrah Fawcett. Think about Farrah Fawcett alone. And now we got Beyonce. I think Beyonce's turning white. The last pictures I saw of her. So even the people today in this generation are still putting forth an image that European style is more beautiful than your nappy hair. Refire, refire, refire. We got to wake up our youth and these women, especially in this country. Naima Latif, our executive producer, says women have allowed the modeling industry to dictate to them how they should look. Now, I saw this recent video of a Black woman from, let me think, where is she from? I forget where she's from. I wonder if any of you have seen it. Some big pageant they had. Now, she was but dark melanin woman, beautiful body, long legs. She was walking down the ramp, and she looked at another woman, and she grabbed the wig and threw it off and showed her bald hair. Oh, it was beautiful, just beautiful. A beautiful depiction of natural brown skin, no hair. That's where we're going. I believe that's where the Black women are going. Rather be bald than don the wigs. Please, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. And it's up to us, the older generation, to listen. Why do you need to wear a wig? Is your hair, you have problems with your hair? Let's work on getting healthy hair and nice hair fabric while the hair is growing. Okay, my hair is growing like crazy. I even had my son trim it recently because it's growing. But I love wearing these beautiful garment, and a lot of African women are leading the way with these beautiful head wraps. But we got a lot of work to do. Okay. And HLN TV. Okay, that's our Monday morning mindfulness. She's got our granny's old home recipes more reliable than modern medicine. Okay, that's tomorrow morning, Monday morning mindfulness. Don't want to miss that show, because those old home remedies are what's going to keep us out of the hospital, right, Zelda? That's what we're here going to talk about. All those old home remedies that haven't been used versus all the types of medicine that are used in doctors and hospitals. So join her tomorrow morning at 7 for that very enlightening show. So Zelda Monday Morning Mind says your OWJ score will consistently go up and down. OWJ is observe without judgment. I'm not there at the bottom yet. But the key is you're conscious of it. Most are not. Lucky you. Thank you, Zelda. I feel better now after going to a 5 today. But you're right. I'm sitting there judging myself that I'm up at a 5 now. I need to go back down, stop judging. I sit there and just judge myself, analyze myself. And then the music just helped me go off away from looking at other people, because there was a lot of obesity. I have to digress a little bit. People are concerned that Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is a baby boomer, he's my age, he's 70, looks amazing, he's doing arm lifts, and he's like the most athletic person. Oh dear, I got a lizard in here or something. Anyway, and people are worried that he doesn't qualify to be Health and Human Service Secretary. Are you kidding me? We have the fattest, sickest country on earth, and we are concerned about a new health secretary who might do something different. Wake up, people. Wake up, wake up, wake up. This is insane. This drama around us is just so entertaining. Robert F. Kennedy is perfect for health and human. So I hope he gets through the Congress meeting and all that stuff, because that man has so much history about keeping healthy, being healthy, promoting health. And we're worried that he might change the obesity epidemic that we have in this country. Help us. Speaking of which, just to go off a little bit on this, the Democrats, this is the biggest scan going right now. So I have to mention this to beware. The Democrats are asking for more money for a recount. Okay. This is a scam. I'm telling you, they're already $20 million in debt from this whole election circus. And they're asking people for more money to recount the election. Scam. Just remember, it's a scam. I told you, don't give any more money. No. They're going down. Anyway, Dina Marat, thank you. Hi, Dina. It's so nice to see you. She says, after 10 years of being in a rat race, I took some time to contemplate why I was doing things I did. And I pursued the thing I did. And I realized it was all the programming from TV and commercials we were watching as children. Absolutely. Thank you, Dina, for sharing that. So true. And here we are at the end of 2024, going into a new year of number 9, new beginnings. Let's dump out the dirty water with the baby. Dump the dirty water out, keep the baby. And let's go forward with new visions, new programming, new awareness, new consciousness. So let me play, unless there's on air everywhere is our comment line that we have open. Are there any comments before I go to this next video? I don't know who's on there. I can't see, but speak up if you have a comment or a question on the on-air network. Thank you, Dina. All right, if no comments on air, I'm going to go to this next video about finding your soul purpose. Why are you here? Because this is how we help others. Number 1, we work on ourselves first. Why are you here? What's your soul purpose? Let's be clear about why you're here and what you're doing. And then, as Zelda said, don't beat up on yourself. Remember, it's the programming since birth. You're not alone. Thank you. We can be more conscious about the programming that we're under, and then be easier on ourselves, that we are not non-judgmental about everything. But we want to be consciously aware where we're on that scale. Zelda did a show on that a week or so ago about where are you on the observe without judgment scale. You don't want to be at a 10 judging everything and everybody around you, your children, your granddad. You don't want to be at a 10. If you are, work on coming down and becoming more compassionate, more tolerant about adult behavior. We're not talking about children now. But if you got adult behavior that you're not happy with it, then they don't have the same beliefs as you, it's okay. Spend your time away from them. Or if you're ready, if you're conscious, you're sure about your own purpose, why you're here, then start listening to them about who they are. Who are you? And listen to this next audio video about finding your soul purpose. Why are you here? That's key if we're going to share information, but more important, if we're going to listen to people.
Are you wondering how to find my life purpose? If you're awakening, it's common to become aware you have a purpose and to want to find out what it is. Sophia Persephone here, and in this video, I'm going to give you guidance on how to find my life purpose. Now, first of all, rest assured, your life purpose is something you'll uncover during your awakening, but you need to be aware that your team can't tell you what it is. There are rules to this game. Now, what they can do is they can confirm your own thoughts and they can encourage you along the journey by bringing along opportunities or displaying signs and synchronicities. But you need to build this initial idea of what your life purpose is yourself. So one way to do this is to look back at the dreams that you had when you were a child. What did you want to do? No matter how crazy or far-fetched it seems, it's almost certainly aligned to your life purpose in some way. Because when we're children, up until about the age of 6, we have far more connection to the universe and we have access to the Akashic records, even though we're not aware that that's what we're doing, or typically we're not aware. Another thing to think about is your purpose is always something that you enjoy and that you are drawn towards. So when you're asking yourself how to find my life purpose, think about these 3 things. What do you enjoy? What are you good at? And what will make a difference in the world? A combination of those 3 things will point you towards your purpose. Now, if you're awakening, you're a higher evolved soul. Typically, that means you have a big purpose. You're going to do something at scale. So think about your skills and your experience and how you could apply them for the greater good. At the early stage of the Global Enlightenment Project, where we are now, often your purpose will be connected to helping others through their awakenings. So that's another question you can ask yourself. What could you do in that space? Now, if you spend some time in meditation, get these ideas together, spend some time in meditation, even though your guides can't explicitly tell you your purpose, you can access the Akashic records and your purpose will be recorded there. The plan that you had for this life, you will be able to find it. Just play around with possible paths in your mind during a meditation session and see what resonates. You'll be able to feel it. You'll be able to feel what feels right. And then you can ask your guides, is that it? And they should be able to give you at least some indication. Most of all, it's really important that you don't let finding your purpose become a worry or a burden to you. That's not going to help. It will emerge over time. You may suddenly realize that you're doing something useful that you can scale up, or an opportunity might present itself in the way that they do. And you will find yourself on the path. Even if you're not explicitly aware, one day you will realize, I'm already doing it. So I hope that's answered your question. How do I find my life purpose? You know, life is long. There's time. I have no doubt that you will discover it and that you'll be able to make.
Okay, so that's one idea of realizing why you're here and focusing on understanding what that means. Here's another perspective on your soul purpose. What does all that mean? And this young lady says, you already know what that means. You just have to realize, think about it, and do it.
So it's actually less about figuring your soul purpose out, and it's more about following the clues that are already there. Anything connected to your soul purpose is going to carry a frequency of excitement or spark curiosity or interest. And that's because the energetic translation of those feelings, thoughts, or emotions are really just your higher self getting your attention to say, hey, if you move in this direction, it will be a fulfilling path forward. If you can't stop thinking about something, if you've tried a million different things, but it keeps coming back to this one thing, those are all instances of something that's connected to your soul purpose. Every single person has hidden clues built into their life regarding their soul purpose from the second they're born. And it really just comes down to following your desire.
So that's a good example for me about what happened today with these brothers, or these 3 men who were talking about their abomination belief mother, And that was no coincidence because there were just too many people there. And how did I end up sitting next to these guys again to remind me that this is something we need to work on? Having our belief system influencing our ability to have a unity relationship, a healthy relationship, especially with our adult children, because we can't control them anymore. At some point, they're not our babies. They're not our boys. They're not our sons even. They're souls on this journey with us to evolve. And once they become an adult, they got children. I got grandchildren. I can't influence my son the way I did when he was 4 or 5 years old. So I hope this helps all of you to move forward. If there's no more questions, I don't see any more comments. We did really good on our time tonight. Blog Talk wasn't working, so all we have is On Air Radio Network. If there's any comments, now's the time. And all of the comments in Facebook, thank you so much for encouraging me to raise my Observe Without Judgment score and walk forward. Baby boomers, time to refire, because our young generation needs us to listen now. We don't need to be lecturing them anymore. Forget it. No more lecturing to the younger generation. They got tattoos all over their bodies, and they wonder why they can't get a job because nobody was listening to them, obviously. The tattoos scream of, give me some attention. I need some attention for the younger people. I mean, I've seen older people with tattoos too, and I'm wondering, do they want attention? Okay. I have actually asked people about their tattoos, total strangers. They're more than willing to tell me about it. I don't even feel bad about asking anymore. Just, oh, that's an interesting tattoo. Where'd that come from? Oh, that was my grandma, my auntie, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like getting the whole history of the family and why they got grandma on their arm. Listen. And then let us help our younger, especially, to be guided into more thoughtful choices, more conscious choices, and an understanding of consequences. Let's talk to them about consequences. They don't know what that is. And that's what we as baby boomers, elders, we have to offer, the wisdom of experience and consequences. I got people, even in my own household, they don't want to listen to me about watching violent entertainment and where that can lead to. They don't, oh, well, we can handle the violence. There's no problem. We're not going to go out and kill anybody. I'm like, that's what you're thinking. But someone who's watched that kind of behavior for years and years and years, and then seeing somebody end up in prison because they reacted with violence that was programmed. And we as baby boomers, we can share with the people who are younger all the Hollywood media, TV influences that shaped our confusion today, the wigs and everything. Oh, yeah. So thank you all for being here tonight. Please share this with those who might want to listen. If not, that's okay. It'll be on my YouTube channel, Viada's Tiny House Village, on my Facebook. And let's see, we have any more comments? Yes, Zelda, refired. Yes, thanks for the reminder. We're all going to be refired in 2025. The female solution is the new media. The old media is gone and dead. CNN, CBS, ABC, gone, dead. We're creating a whole new media along with other YouTubers and all that. So just get ready. Just get ready. We're going to be bigger and better than ever, no matter who's in the White House. We don't care who's in the White House. We're the ones. I am president of me, and you be president of you. All right. So it's time to say goodbye to our global family. If you were listening, because we did not have Blog Talk Radio, but we're going to say goodbye to our Female Solution Global family anyway, because we love you. And I think this is a time to introduce people to Female Solution, even if you are on YouTube or Facebook and you don't, be aware, we're the new media. So get ready.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jaref. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.
And I just have to read this last comment. It's so beautiful. From Joy Segura, one of our female solution hosts. She says, great job, baby boomers. That's my circle now, and I'm learning to live in peace with me. That's where it starts, loving me. Thank you, Joy. And be a better friend and elect and choose to love and let it be. When I am okay with me, I'm okay. Hey, hallelujah. Great final words. Thank you, Joy. And to all my yogi friends out there, namaste, sat nam, aho, and ashe, and aloha to all my friends in Hawaii. Stand strong. You got this. We're praying for you. Love you all. Have a great week.